Well, it's been great so far, and appreciate the plug for the value of the MVPD and the MVPD inventory. So as you know, at Spectrum, we talk about providing unprecedented data signals and contextual insights that help solve this critical gap in murkiness and transparency. Bill, back over to you. Can you take us through a little bit about the value of these signals? Are there things that the marketplace doesn't know, how it works, advancements in maybe metadata or signals that people aren't familiar with, and how they can maximize some of this information?
Sure, I'll take a stab at that. So, okay, so right now I think the very basic stuff is sort of show level around, if the series name, you can go down to the episode if you want. It's all there, cast, crew, a bunch of metadata around the description, any sort of brand safety, all that. It's all there. It's just if the ID is passed or not. I think where we'll go from here, though, is we'll start to see down at the scene level. So that could be a way you can give scene level around like a mood, or even like in a talk show, who are the main topics, or who are the presenters, who are the guests, things like that. These are rich signals we'll start to see. That would be great. Like standards will come there too. It would be great to see IAB in those too. But those we'll start to get that level of grain, and that's not VPPA. Knowing that the guests are these whatever singers or these athletes on the show, great. Like now I could buy against that, and you could say, yeah, it's not, we're not telling you what you're watching or anything. We're just giving you a lot about that. So maybe that's a way to start accelerating. And the buyers could be like, we like talk shows with these topics. We like these maybe moods or moments in a show seem to resonate with the emotional connection we're trying to make with our brand. And we'll buy that. And then we're not buying Seinfeld episode, season 2 episode this, and no one's disclosing anything. That would be.
I think it's a great example, and there are some amazingly exciting innovations about space. And my only slight anxiety is they need to be standardized and implemented uniformly.
No scale without it, right?
Exactly, because I think at the moment, I think you have lots of publishers doing really cool stuff, but we're all doing it slightly differently.
It doesn't work, and you can't buy on like what one guy calls it sad, one guy melancholy. I don't know. Like it's all you need scale, and you get to put your.
It's usually about this time in the conversation, someone says that AI is going to fix all the problems, and we can move on. So just short speeding past that point.
Kasha, are you using any of these signals today in some of your investments? And I'd be curious, if in an environment with more signals, is there a greater performance? Does it perform better, or does the measurement just help tie back what's happening so you can track performance? Is it?
Yeah, I like this idea. I think we've been playing around a lot at Known with how do you balance audience targeting with contextual targeting, and where does the value end up being? Because I think the premiums on audience targeting often don't actually get justified in the ROI. So we're going through a process now where we're testing that on every single one of our clients to try to figure out where's the balance point. And I think a similar thing can be done with this kind of data. How do you figure out what level of sort of context targeting in CTV it gives you the positive ROI where the cost makes sense in terms of the return? And I think, it's going to be different for every client. That's what I've found over 30 years in this business. There's no sort of way to say you use this data element and it works for everybody. It's like you really got to think about what you're doing, what the brand is, what the effort is, what the outcome is. And then really, we do tons and tons of experiments at Known. Some of them as old school as like match market testing to really figure out what's the incrementality of different strategies and how do we get there.